Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Monday Angel Message, and this is the 13th of January, 2020. And what an incredible weekend it's been of really deep transformation, huge shifts of energy, waves of light. You could be feeling as if you're in between two worlds. You could be feeling a little bit out of body. You could be feeling really excited because you've been getting creative ideas, inspiration, or just feeling that deep need for change, because this is what these shifts are all about. They're about finding one particular area in your life that perhaps you've been justifying, perhaps you've been rationalizing, maybe you've been overthinking it or thinking that you can't do it, you can't afford it, you can't manage it, it's overwhelming or it's not right, and you've been second guessing making this change. And it's almost like the spotlight is on you right now. And it comes with the deepest of love. You know, the angels and the guides that work with us are coming from that highest place of divine, pure, unconditional love. And so even if the change that you are about to make or you want to make or you feel driven to make feels scary, it feels hard, trust that you're never brought to something without being, I want to say, escorted through it. You know, the divine doesn't bring you to something and then leave you on your own. In fact, what's going on for you is probably an answered prayer. And that's really what today's message is all about. It's all about understanding answered prayers, because I know that you don't need help asking for the help that you want with your life. I'm checking my microphone's on. Yes, it is. So you know some of the things that you want. And even if you're unclear about how that is going to come about, if that's actually quite good if you're unclear, because where us humans with our very human over-analytical minds go is that we tend to try to work out the how as soon as the idea springs up. So you get an inspiration, you get an idea, or maybe it comes to you through pain because you're struggling with the relationship, the job, the place you're living in, the health issues. So the pain is compassionate because it is bringing you to a place of understanding, of realization. It's a reality check. And so you say, aha, here is a doorway that I need to walk through. Here is something that is showing me that I need to expect more for myself, to raise my standards, to treat myself better. And my inner self is telling me very clearly that if I stay where I am, what I'm doing, how I'm thinking, how I'm believing, then that is going to be even more painful, because the pain that is coming up, whether it's emotional, physical, mental pain, it is showing you that you've outgrown or that you've settled for less than you really want. And so we can bless the pain, you see, because even though we may not know how we're going to get out of it, there is divine inspiration. And I don't believe that we get inspiration, ideas, opportunities to change or to create something new. You know, I've had a book idea bubbling inside of me for the last couple of weeks, and it's not come from me. It's come from a higher place. So those inspirations, whether it's for a new creative idea in your life or whether it's to change and get out of something difficult, it comes from the divine. And God, your soul, the angels, your spirit guides are of the highest light, and they all come from the same place and are of the same opinion. So first of all, stop yourself worrying about how you're going to get there, because spirit, angels, divine, whatever your name for the higher power is, will guide you to those steps of how to get it done. All you need to do is accept what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what you're noticing in that moment, and try to offer as little resistance as you can. So your prayers are being answered at the moment. And for some of you, it's being answered in the pain, like, I've got to get out of here, this is driving me crazy, or this is too much, I can't do it anymore, or I've wanted this change for so long and I've been believing that I can't have it, I've been believing that I'm limited, that I don't have enough, that I'm not worthy, that I'm not good enough, that all of my past pain has created an unworthiness in me. If you're believing all of that, then all of that repeated feeling of like, I've come to this place again, is not to beat you up. It's to recognize, here I am, and the divine is getting me to see it so that I can heal it, so that I can change it, so that I can now raise my standards for myself and come to a higher place. And the full moon, the eclipse, the Saturn-Pluto conjunct is all about that. It's all about magnifying what you need to know and bringing you into an awareness of what is it right now that I have to stop ignoring. I have to stop shoving aside. I have to stop burying with addiction and food and distraction. I have to pay attention to something in my life because it is bringing me down, not only in that area, but in all other areas. And the divine, the angels can't get the messages through to me. They can't lift me out. They can't answer my prayers until I pay attention and I set the intention to change it. And I call up my courage and my strength, because yes, it does take courage to face a fear, to face a problem that you have to solve, and to agree to change, because sometimes we can get a little bit too comfortable with our pain. We can get a little bit in the comfort zone of being in limitation and scarcity. And so what happens then is what I call the cosmic kick in the butt. And I guess that is part of what these huge transits are. And like today is a big day. Like the weekend felt like a big wave or a sweeping broom coming through and clearing the way for you to be able to look at it. So now is the time to harness some energy, some time, and don't say, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough. Say, I'm going to make time. I'm going to find time to set some intentions and to pay attention to what is going on for me, because the divine, the angels are saying, we want to answer your prayers, but this is a co-creation. We can't just create the change for you. There are things that you have to do in order to make space for this change to come about. And that involves courage, it involves faith, it involves time to look into what is going on for you. It involves cutting away some of the things that are maybe distracting or pulling you away from doing that kind of work for yourself. And really just being in there for yourself, because the prayers want to be answered. Now, the way that prayers are answered is sometimes very, very quick, and sometimes in quite an impactful way. And this is where you have to get your resistance out of the way, because your resistance will come up, your ego will come up and say an opportunity arrives, or an opportunity to take the first step of your change arrives. And your ego will say, no, you can't do that. And then we'll come up with the excuses that I have enough time, I don't have enough money, I've got too much to do, this maybe isn't it. Maybe you imagined that your change would come in the way that you've thought up rather than what the divine is bringing to you. And your fear comes up to say, I can't do it. And where does that fear come from? Where is that fear coming from within you? It's certainly not coming from your intuition. It's not coming from the divine. It's not coming from your angels or your soul. So I'm just seeing everybody pop on. Hey, everyone. Where is that fear coming from? That fear is coming from your ego, and it's coming from lack and limitation. And lack and limitation are not only related to your money, the money that is in your bank account, although money is a really great way to demonstrate lack and limitation in your consciousness, because the way it shows up, how much of it you have, how quickly or how easily you lose it, or it stays, or you spend it, it's a really good indication of whether you have a prosperity, abundance, belief in unlimited good, a belief in infinite good, or whether you have a strong belief in limitation, lack, and not enoughness in the universe as well as in your own life and your own worthiness of receiving. So, but as I said, it doesn't have to be the lack, the fear that comes up. Could be I don't have enough time, or I'm not good enough. My confidence is saying I can't do that. I'm not ready for that. Or there's not enough money. I'm not going to spend that. I'm afraid of losing what I do have. So look out for that resistance, because that's just your ego offering resistance and steering you away. Because when you make a prayer, when you say sincerely, it doesn't have to be a prayer. It could be a prayerful intention. It can be a question. It can be a wish. It can be a call from within of desperation and like, please help me. When you make anything like that, your angels are onto it. They are onto it straight away. And most of the time it is answered with an opportunity, a door opening, an offer, a step that you have to take. And that's why they're not genies, because they're not doing it for you. They're not going to say, oh, you want more clients for your business? Here's more clients for your business. They will say, okay, this is how you can create more clients for your business. Here's someone who can teach you how to have more clients for your business. Here's a book that you can read, or here is a course that you can do, or here is a new behavior that you can learn. So the answered prayer is often a step that you can take, and the step that you take then triggers the changes that you need, and then your prayer is answered, if that makes sense. So you really have to pay attention when you put out those prayers and intentions, which is, I know that you're doing. And I really believe that the kind of the turnover to 2020 was like a dress rehearsal, and now we're in the real moment of setting intentions. So you can reset them, or you can set some new ones, or you can edit them a bit, and now that you know better, you want to do better, and you set those intentions, and you have to then pay attention to what shows up. What shows up, because it will not look like what you think it will look like. 9 times out of 10, your answered prayer will be something completely creative, completely out of the blue, and something that will stretch you. Because how can you grow if you're not willing to stretch out of your comfort zone? If you're not willing to challenge and question your limitations that you've built up around you. And your limitations are your beliefs, your behaviors, your thoughts, your ideas. And I know from my own life, I can think of so many times when I was, particularly around sort of 8-10 years ago, when I was really trying, I was working so hard. I was full to the limit with clients, yet I just wasn't surviving on the abundance that I was earning. And I couldn't work any harder. I was at this kind of saturation point where I couldn't take any more clients but I wasn't getting ahead financially. And, I had animals to feed, horses and dogs, and lots of responsibilities, rent to pay, just the normal stuff of life. And I just wasn't getting ahead. And, things that broke my heart, like I couldn't go over and see my family very often in the UK because it was so costly to do that trip and have that time off work, or holidays I wanted to go on, or just things that I wanted to do. And I always had this little bit of money put aside, because I'd got caught once when my horse got tangled with a barbed wire fence, and their bill was in the thousands. And luckily I had a very kind vet back then who said, it's okay, I will do the treatment and you can pay it off. I trust you. And I did pay it off. But so I got very precious about this money that I had saved up. That was what I called my parachute, as in, if anything goes wrong with the animals, if the bill comes up for the car, I've got this money. And then I've been praying for more clients, praying for help in making it easier for myself. And this program came up, advertised, and it was called The Next Step for Your Business. And it was with someone who I admired greatly, and someone who I'd been listening to on my iPod for years with business, very sincere, qualified coach and New York Times bestselling author. I was like, I've got to go. And it cost almost exactly what I'd put aside. And my fear was, that's all I've got, and that's all I'm ever going to have, and I can't spend it. because, I'm not going to get it again. And luckily I broke through that and said, I've got to do this program. Like, how can I not do it? I know it's going to be a turning point. And I had to really talk myself into spending that entire lump of money. But it was what I needed, because I had to stretch my limiting thoughts and beliefs about money, about lack and scarcity, about fear, and face it so that I could go to that next level. And that was the exact right guidance for me, because it gave me guidance in that workshop to move to the next level in my business and to change things slightly so that I didn't burn out. And it taught me so much. And apart from that, I got to meet Louise Hay, which was totally unexpected, and she spent the day with us. So it's like when the angels put something in front of you, your ego, like mine, wants to go, oh God, I can't do that. That's too much. I can't do it. And it doesn't have to be about money. It could be about confidence. Like, oh God, who am I to do this? But you then take that step, and like I said, within a couple of months, all of that money and more was back in my account. And what that guided me to was a greater awareness about abundance and being able to manifest what I needed when I needed it. So the universe, the angels will guide you, and you've got to pay attention to what shows up. You have to. So 2 questions to ask yourself. What area of my life is really pushing my buttons at the moment, nudging me, maybe giving me the cosmic kick in the butt, telling me I need to change? What's coming up for me time and time again, and what particularly feels uncomfortable at this moment? One particular area, focus on that first, because sometimes the other things that are pressing on you around that will be relieved when you attend to that one thing. And then pay attention to that, and don't get into how, just pray for help. And when the opportunity shows up, when it is in front of you, when something comes in front of you, you can say, okay, is this it? And explore it until the very moment of the last, explore it, don't ignore it. And then say to yourself, thank you, angels. If this seems hard, give me the courage. Help me to manifest the abundance. Show me how I can do this. So that you can follow on that step and keep moving and keep stretching. Because you can't, I see so many people who are beautiful, good people, spiritual, connected, doing the right thing, hardworking, but they refuse to stretch themselves. And when they don't stretch themselves, they can't follow their intuition, which always will take you out of your comfort zone a little bit. It's like a mixture of excitement and fear, it's like, because it's pushing you outside, because you can't grow unless you expand. So all of this came to me this morning while I was doing my meditation, because I'm always asking, tell me what to say, tell me what to speak about. And I was doing some clutter clearing yesterday. How many people here have been doing clutter? I didn't want to do clutter clearing yesterday. I wanted to rest, but I was like, I cannot stand this any longer, and I had to take all this stuff out. So I put a lot of stuff in the bin, old paperwork, and beside the bin this morning, I'd already taken them out to the big bins, was this piece of paper that must have fallen out. And this is something that I wrote years ago. It's an old Post-it sticker, which used to be a luminous yellow. Now you can see it's like a lemony color. And it says something I wrote: I am abundance, I am love. All that I need always comes. The divine is my source. That was on my fridge for years. And I used to say it every morning: I am abundance, I am love. All that I need always comes. The divine is my source. And it reminded me of that time that I told you about. So I take that as a sign for you guys. Remember that. I'm abundance, I am love. All that I need always comes to me. The divine is my source. Your bank, your job, your business, your partner, your investments, wherever you get your income stream from, whether it's a benefit for caring for your children or for an elderly loved one or a disabled person, your income is not the source of your good. The divine is the source of your good, and the way that it's coming to you is the channel. And there can be many channels. And you don't have to be the one opening those channels. You just have to be open to receive, to be the channel, to allow the abundance to come to you from many different directions. And if someone shows up at your door with a dozen eggs from their chooks, or a bunch of coriander, or a thank you card for something you've done for them, take that as a sign that that channel is opening wider for you. So this is the other thing that was a divine synchronicity that was sitting on my table here beside the camera this morning, from goodness knows where. It's a random card. It's got a sticker on the back, and it says, blessings of abundance from your guardian angel. And look how the angel is carrying all of this fruit and vegetables, and she's got them, you know. I can remember doing Harvest Festival when I was a child, and we used to go from primary school, and everyone would bring food and fruit and pile it all up. So it's a, you know, I went to a Hopi reservation a few years ago in Arizona in America, and happened to arrive when they were doing their dancing ceremony for rain, which is abundance, and everybody was handed out food and fruit and bread in the town. So food represents abundance, whatever abundance means to you, because money is just an energy. It's the energy we use to exchange, right? So if we get too attached to that stuff, we choke off its supply, because it's not that it doesn't give you anything. Money is just the way for you to receive joy, happiness, health, love. You know, it enables you to, maybe you go out and you meet your loved one, whereas if you were just staying in and worrying about money, you wouldn't go anywhere. You know, it's just a means to an end, is what I'm saying. So your angels want to help you with blessing you with abundance. So what was the other thing that I had as a synchronicity this morning? Oh, I think that's it. So let me pull some cards for you. And if anyone has any questions about any of that. Hey, Natalie, great message for me today. Yes, Natalie. I mean, you're a great example of a person that has always reached higher, and that has created an amazing business, and you've done it from love, but you're always being stretched, aren't you? The angels are always stretching you. Hey, Dee. Hi, Leanne. Hi, Joe. Hello, Ida. I'm sorry if I missed anyone. Lauren. Thanks, everyone, as well, who attended the webinar and meditation on Friday. That was just so amazing. I love the energy that you brought to it, and just feeling the energy of the group, of everyone around the world. We had so many people on, and I've had lovely emails from you guys, so thank you so much. It was great. I haven't taken it down yet, so if anyone wants to get the replay before I take it down, who haven't already joined, you can still purchase that for the next day or so, because I just haven't had time. Hi, Justin. Hey, Jamie. Yes, I'm in the middle of a big stretch. Okay. You are. I know. So I'm using this new deck of cards I've got called the Psychic Tarot by John Holland, who is an amazing medium and comes from that right place of heart. And let's find out. So did you know that the angel of Mondays is Archangel Haniel, who is also the angel of the moon? And she's a feminine, she presents as a feminine archangel. And she's all around moon cycles, working with the moon in order to create whatever it is that you want in your life, and to help you to clear out the energies that no longer are working for you, or are stagnant, or even maybe toxic or damaging. So you can call on Archangel Haniel, and her energy is very moon-like. It's like that silvery that comes with a deep blue. And obviously Monday is named after the moon cycle, so Moon Day. And it's very relevant at the moment, right? Now, this isn't a card that is about a card deck about prosperity. So your first card is material and spiritual prosperity. Now, this card is coming with this strong message for you. Eliminate the guilt and the fear that you have around money, prosperity, material wealth. If you have resentment, if you have jealousy, if you have fear, if you have guilt about being spiritual and wealthy, then you need to clear that out, because that is going to sabotage any attempts that you make to create abundance. Now, as soon as I said that, I could feel energetically. I'm an empath, clairvoyant. So as I'm tuning into you guys, this isn't about me, this is about you. There is an energy around either the solar plexus or the second chakra, which is around your navel. So when I say to you, do you have guilt, resentment, jealousy, or some other heavy toxic energy around being wealthy, abundant, receiving, good? Tune into your body and see if you can feel it, because you need to release that. You need to release the energy, and you need to release the thought or the belief that created it. Transmute that to the light, because whatever that belief is, it's holding you back. So this reading is about prosperity. Now, this second card is firm foundation. Now, look at that. This is talking about those bottom three chakras. Look at where the triangle, the pyramid is on. Pyramids are showing up really strongly at the moment to work with us as well. So base chakra energy, bottom three chakras energies are all around being grounded, having a firm foundation, feeling worthy, feeling strong, feeling present, fully present in your body, so that your chakras can glow and be magnets for the abundance. If you are disconnected, thrown off balance, feeling not good about yourself, feeling ungrounded, insecure, that's going to repel abundance. So do what you can to ground yourself and build a firm foundation. So they're saying go slowly, start at the beginning, do basic things like affirmations. If you're building a business, I feel like a lot of people here are, or thinking about it, then think about it in a gentle, soft way, and don't get scattered or thrown off. Do build a beautiful foundation for what it is, whether you're doing services or whether you're selling a product, and make sure that you get your pricing right, and make sure that you get that yourself right to receive. Get the thinking right, get your words, create it from a place of strength and abundance, not from fear and anxiety. So what do you need in order to feel? Now look, the whole card is all around this pyramid as well. In order to feel secure, what do you need to do? What do you need to clear that is maybe making you wobble? Is there someone in your life that undermines you, that puts you down, that makes you feel guilty or not good enough, or doesn't want you to put your attention into building a better life? I've had friends over the years who've been resentful of time I've spent in my business, or criticized me. So eventually those relationships either explode and disappear, or you have to say, I'm not doing that anymore, because it's eating away at my security. And you have a right to make yourself prosperous. You have a right to be happy, abundant, loved. In fact, it's your responsibility, because the more you have, the more you have to share, and you're not doing it I think money has a bad reputation because it's about imagining that people who are wealthy have low integrity, and that's a load of rubbish. Some people, of course, do it in low integrity ways, but there's karma to that, and that's not up to us to judge. We have to look after our own. And the outcome card. Now, this is such a beautiful, powerful card. Look at her. She's in this beautiful circle of light. She's protected. Her heart chakra is wide open. She is in a state of ecstasy, of bliss, because she's connected with the divine. And the words are passion ignited. It's like you need a secure space energetically, a safe space, so that you can do what you love, so that you can share what you love with the world, so that you can be we're in a new age. This is what these transits have been all about ever since day dot. We are in a new age where we have the ability to create peace instead of create fear. So if we think with fear, we create fear. We think with limitation, we create limitation, not only for ourselves, but for the world, for the people around us. And the world that we live in is our own reality. Hostile people live in a fearful world. Fearful people live in a hostile world is probably a better way of putting it. And people who are peaceful, people who are coming from trust to faith and abundance, live in a peaceful world. and it's the reality that you create. So this is an ability for you to create a new reality. So thank you guys so much for being here. Do you have any questions before I close down? Yeah, Born Knowing. That's John Holland's book. Yes, Trish, it's a great book. That, yes, it is. It is a great book, and I knew that he was one of the best teachers for you. He's a great person. Yes, pyramids. Thanks, Natalie. So thank you so much for being a part of this, and I'll be sending out my blog with this video in it later on this afternoon. Mondays are quite a big day for me, so I'm doing a lot of this kind of stuff. And I'll be talking more about abundance in the blog and creating it, if that's something that you're interested in, and connecting with the right angels in order to create that for yourself, because I know I wouldn't have been able to create more abundance for myself without the help of my angels. I've done it every step of the way with my angels beside me, and it's a way of doing it that doesn't pull you into a fear place, or doesn't pull you into a place where you are tempted to do things out of integrity. It's protected. It's a protected space. So I'll be doing that later. I also want to let you know that between now and the end of February, Angels at Uluru is on a very super low early bird. So this year is the first year I've done a 3-day event out at Uluru, and we do a vision circle. There's so much in this one. It's really, really powerful. We're going at Lions Gate, so we'll be there for the 8th of the 8th, 2020, which is a very powerful transition time. So the energy will be even more strong out there. We do a healing ceremony, a letting go ceremony at the base of Uluru. We get to spend time. We have a whole morning with some Indigenous ladies, traditional owners, where we learn their stories, we learn their art, and we get to go and visit some ancient sacred parts of Uluru with a traditional owner. Not many people get to do that. And we also do a full day and a half of angel work. So we're working with your intuition, we're working with expanding your energy and your clearing out limitations, helping you to manifest. We do a vision circle. There's so much. So if you'd like to be a part of that, you can get in touch with me. We can have a chat. And there is a payment plan, which if you get in before the end of February as well, you can do the payment plan and have it completed by the time it has to be all signed off. So it's quite a simple payment plan. So let me know if you'd like to be a part of that. And angel blessings. Have a beautiful week and look after yourself. This is big energy. See ya.